Welcome to Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Day. Okay, dokie, guess what's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin. We begin to give you a little bit of insight as to what is going on in St. Martin right now. Of course, the tragic shooting that happened earlier today is on the investigation that happened on the French side, happened at the same time. We sound like we're in trouble. We kind of look like we're in trouble. Because if it ain't somebody drowning, it is somebody getting shot. Or a classic good old robbery. That's it. Now, of course, we have to say our condolences to the families. I know that this time can't be easy. So I know for sure that, hopefully justice will be served. But the violent situation in St. Martin, I got to say something about it because I can't just act as if it doesn't affect the day-to-day. People are going to be a little bit scared to be going on the road, but may the best man win? That's bad to say. Survival of the fittest. That's what it is, because it looked like this St. Martin is a giant squid game, and I don't know who's going to win, but I know for sure nobody wants to lose. So take it easy, relax. One of the things that always helps me is just every single time that you're in traffic and you're seeing somebody cut you off, just go like whoosh. And if it doesn't work, then you know the consequences. Right? Anyway, in some political news, of course, the Akim Arinal arrest from yesterday, not the arrest, the sentencing. Some more details came out of the case, and this is something that I had to talk about yesterday. But first, I need to settle that he was convicted, right? Former Member of Parliament, Akim Arinal. Secondly, how dumb can you be, Akim? No, understand what I'm saying, because I have the details of the brief from the court, the verdict. And in the verdict, there was a woman that Akim Arinal hired to recruit voters. And the voters would then get paid for their services. So you would think like, Andrew, you can't prove that. What? A WhatsApp message? What are you talking about? No, this woman actually recorded video of the transactions. She also received a transfer from the good Member of Parliament, former Member of Parliament, Akim Arinal. A transfer. Pete, can we block this out? A transfer. What? How is it? You're going to do something illegal, and you're going to go and transfer the money on your on your computer, on your phone, and what do you write in the subject matter? Vote buying? Like you just make a paper trail. Like, why would you do that? Come on now. Of course, you can say that you bought some cookies and therefore you transferred some money to them, or you can just make up something and say, yeah, well, I just gave them a donation. But the screen recordings, the recording itself, video recordings, the evidence was a little bit too quick because the case was investigated December. It just closed off, and then they went to court, and now the verdict is here. The fastest politician prosecution in St. Martin history. That was the fastest prosecution ever in the bag. So Akim, what have we learned? You're supposed to say not to make a digital track. You gotta be faster than that. You know what a guy say with a hook? You gotta be quicker than that. Come on now. Okay. Anything else? The Budget meeting will begin next week, where they're going to be discussing the budget. Of course, a lot is going on. In the meantime, the question and answer session of the Council of Ministers press briefing was pretty interesting, I must say. The Prime Minister was asked several questions concerning his portfolio and some things that's happening in the on the island.
To kick off my questions, you just mentioned that you secured a loan of 76.5 million, 0.5 million, I think you said?
75.6
75.6
million
million.
Antillian guilders.
Guilders, that's
Antillian
what I wanted
guilders,
to know.
yes.
Guilders.
Yeah.
Are
Yes,
there
sir.
conditions to this loan? I also would like to, as we continue with GEBE, while you were able to stabilize the grid, congratulations. The question I have for you, Prime Minister, is the management team. We are over 4 years without a management
Yes,
team.
incredible. Very long. Huh?
Yes.
More than 4 years,
You
by
had
the way.
2 recruitments already done.
Yes.
Can you tell us, you
Of
have
course.
some names
Yeah.
that were given to
Yeah.
by the SBOT.
Yeah.
When are the management team going to be appointed, or
Yeah.
will there be a new recruitment drive?
Yeah.
And also,
Bibi,
the
let's
Parliament of
allow-
St. Martin has given a motion to provide relief for the people of St. Martin. Can you give us an update on that also?
Yeah. Okay. The first question is, you have to realize that in the past 6 to 8 months, there was a national crisis in this country, and I just explained what we could achieve in this short period of time. Secondly, of course, and thank God you said it yourself, the apparatus, the entity government had more than 4 years already to do something with management of GB. Seeing already what I have achieved, of course, this is the focus of attention for this government, for sure, to fill in the C positions. We are busy now in the last phase of finalizing the legal framework to appoint the candidates. We are finalizing that before having the discussion on the names that have been proposed, and for privacy reasons until now I will not dismantle any name at this particular moment, because these are very sensitive discussions. It has a significant impact for the company and also for the community, for the country. So I think if we could have waited 4 years, I think we can wait, realizing that I had a good excuse that we had to actually control the crisis first. So that is now under control. And of course, it has my attention now that is now the second step that we are approaching. And next to what we have done in the last 6 to 8 months, that has been collaterally given attention to also. But we are now in the last phase of the legal framework discussion, and from there on we're going to move on. That was one question. The second question was, yes, before that, the conditions of the, I will not, first of all, there are some conditions, but not related to the loan. Conditions of the loan that you asked me about, conditions of the loan, I can give it to that, but I have to share it still with the Council of Ministers. But these are common, normal answers to questions on a loan. There are actually 2 conditions. It has to be, the loan will be 25 years, and the interest percentage will be 2.43%. Will never be found on the market such a low interest rate. So I'm very proud that I could get a loan to help my country, our country, with only 2.43% interest rate. I'm very, very proud of that. Very difficult to get it on the international market. And the third one is that we are working still on, because this continues to be a challenge for quality of life of the people of St. Martin, is of course the energy price, the price of the invoices of GEBE for the people of St. Martin. As you know, we have mandated the BTP, St. Martin, in collaboration with their background support, the BTP of Curacao, that have done it for very successful for Curacao, and we mandated them to look into the possibility of mitigating the end price of the energy that we are selling it to the people of St. Martin, and a big contribution in that energy consumption price is, of course, the fuel clause, and BTP is completely mandated to negotiate the fuel clause also with all the stakeholders. And until now, for us, stakeholders are those contributing for the fuel clause for years already. That is 7 Seas for the delivery of water, the harbor. It is 2. The tax office, of course, GEBE itself. These are those stakeholders that we are discussing with to make sure that everybody throws a little water in the wine to control the price for our people of St. Martin that are going through some very realistic challenges at this particular moment. Thank you very, very much. Sorry.
Good morning, Prime Minister.
Yes.
Happy New Year. So to some of the statements that you made in particular about GB, you said the loan has been received. Does that mean the money has actually been sent to St. Martin or that it's been allocated?
No,
The government will then need to have an agreement with GB
Yeah.
in terms of the purchasing of generators and what the payment terms look like, and if government is going to put conditions on GB. So if you could explain that in a little bit more detail.
Very good.
And one other thing is you mentioned that you're setting up this disaster reserve fund.
Yeah.
So from the reflows of the airport. So if you could explain that for the people a little bit more clearly. And are you going to continue with the CRIF insurance, which is the parametric insurance that government has, I guess, funded out of the World Bank money
CRIF you're
in the
talking
past?
about.
The CRIF, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You ask if we have the money already? The answer is yes. We have the money ready in our accounts. That's the first question. The second question is, we get the loan, we have the capital, we have the money on our account, and we are going to make an agreement now with GEBE for them to be able to purchase the generators. It's going to be in a collaboration with GB, but they're going to be very evident agreements, conditions from government towards GB. And at the end of the day, the idea is not only to rent them, but to make it in a construction of a rent to owe. Because we have to help GEB too, that they paid enough, that at a certain moment they have it, that they can continue to make it a healthy company. So there will be, of course, conditions from the side of government, but we are working at this particular moment on the conditions, because it's quite complicated to guarantee, of course, a good agreement that all parties can adhere to in meeting their obligations in the payback, and especially because it's money of the people we are using. It has to be important that it goes in a transparent way with a lot of check and balances, with, at the end of the day, the bigger aim to make sure that sustainability of energy supply is guaranteed for the people of this country. So we are working now on the conditions, coincidentally now, before we get into the deeper negotiation with GB about the conditions, how we now are going to offer them the money for the purchase of the generators. And even in the phase of the purchasing, also the government will stay involved to make sure that it goes in a transparent way, using the contabiliteitslandsverordening, for example, is very important. Okay? Thank you. Pardon?
The disaster recovery fund. So sorry.
Yes, for me to explain how that works. Yeah.
Yeah. And,
so
and
actually,
just for a clarification, GB has issues with the hack, with their billing.
Yeah.
Will one of the conditions from government be about improving
Yes.
their financial administration?
Yes, of course, yes. Concerning the reflows for the disaster reserve fund, to build a buffer to be able to deal with the consequences, negative consequences of, for example, hurricane and nature disasters. The whole idea was that we got money from the trust fund. That money we accepted with gratefulness from the Dutch people, and we use that money and we give it out in a loan to the airport for their reconstruction. Because it's in a loan, you have to pay an interest rate in your payback agreement with government. And with that paying back, there is an interest part of it that actually makes, at the end of the day, the money that you loan more than it was originally. And that difference that we gain with the interest part that we make money with of the loan, that part is the one that we are going to put in the disaster reserve fund, but also the loan as such. So if we have borrowed money to the airport, we're going to get the money back, but we're going to get interest on top of it too in all those years that they're paying back. And all that money is going to go in the disaster reserve fund. Okay.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank you so much. A very good morning to you, Prime Minister, Minister ECYS, colleagues. Prime Minister, I'm also going to stay on the topic of GB. Last year, you had made a proposal to change the 3 rent-to-own generators, the 7 containerized generators that we currently have on rent-to-own, to change that into a lease-to-own.
Yes.
Yeah, you mentioned that at this forum. I'd like to know what is the status of that proposal, because the 3 months is already up and we're still using those generators, I assume. So I'd like to know the status of that proposal and what is going to happen to the generators. And can you kindly provide us with a timeline on when government expects to purchase these new generators? I know you have to go through the negotiation, but what is your timeline?
Okay.
And what is the timeline also for BTP to complete its assignment? Because I know everyone is looking forward to those lower utility bills. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, starting with GB, with the first immediate measure, 10 1 megawatt containerized generators you're talking about. These ones are lease generators. Initially, because that I was scared about the increase of consumption in the high season with Christmas, with the mega yacht, with the occupation rate of the hotels, I anticipated already before that time to inform GBGB, consider that the consumption can be more than what we are experiencing now already. I proposed to them to look into the possibility, if necessary, to see if we cannot make the deal from lease to a lease-to-own to keep them. They made their research, and after receiving the 20 extra megawatt that are lease-to-own, these are, at the end of the day, they're going to be from GEBE, those containers. They informed me that it's not necessary for them to extra purchase the 10 megawatt that they leased initially. So at the end of the day, we're going to keep the 20 that came in the second batch, the short-term solution. The immediate was the 10, the short-term was the 20, and they decided that it's not necessary. It sounds very, very attractive, of course, to keep them, but you have to realize also that it costs a lot of money and it has to be financially feasible for GEBE2. So what we did, though, to guarantee a stability of the grid for St. Martin, we extended for 1 extra month the 10 megawatt that we had initially. We had rented them for 3 months, and at the end of the day, we added an extra month to it to make sure that in Christmas we are not going to get ourselves in a calamity, and I think that is a very wise decision to do. And we could have experienced also a stability of the grid in the season in our season. Yeah?
So they're going to be going back.
These are going to go back. The first 10 are going to go. The other 20 that arrived on second time, these ones are going to stay. Okay?
I have two clarifications that I asked also, BTP and the timeline on the purchase of the new
Yeah,
generators.
this negotiation for the fuel, for the energy price actually that the consumers are paying for is a very complex analysis. It's not something that you go to GB and say, can you lower this for me? Give me a little 2 cents discount on a liter here. It doesn't go like that. It's a very complex process. At the end of the day, you have to do a good analysis, and then you come in the phase after knowing what every stakeholder can contribute to. You have to start negotiating now with them too. It's not the fact that you think that the harbor can do something that means that you have to still go and discuss it with them and tell, okay, this is what we think the study has given us as clarification, and we have an idea what your margins are. Can we sit now and negotiate? So it was very difficult in the beginning to get immediately an agreement of the end date, but we both the government, BTP, and also the stakeholders are fully aware that this is of high urgency for the people that are suffering in St. Martin. So we're going to continue monitoring it, because the earlier we can have an agreement or a solution for that, the better it will be for everybody. So this is not something that is going to drag forever. We have to come to an end conclusion. First know what is going on, what everybody's contribution is to form the price of energy, sit with them in the second round, and then negotiate with them what can all stakeholders do in giving some relief for us to have an end product that is a little more less expensive to sell to the people of St. Martin.
Recently, I think it was on the 27th of December, the Secretary General for the United Nations sounded the alarm, basically saying that all nations need to prepare themselves in case of a pandemic or epidemic. I'm sure you have taken note of that statement recently. We saw the press release coming from the former Minister of ESA basically sounding the alarm in regards to possible pandemics. The Member of Parliament, De Weaver, spoke of the need to establish a special fund to deal with such in case of. What sort of preparations are being put in place to ensure the safety of all citizens in case of a pandemic? Two, we know that St. Martin is part of the Pan American Health Organization and, by extension, the World Health Organization. What's your association with CAFA?
Okay. We have the World Health Organization. We are in good contact with the World Health Organization, and of course we are following the guidelines. As you could read in the newspaper this morning, the Minister of ESA, Minister Brugge, already made a statement about the human metapneumovirus, the human metapneumovirus. And until now, there are no indications for panic. That is very important. We are following the developments in the world. We are following the guidelines of the World Health Organization, for example. At the moment that there is any indication or any request or any instruction given by the World Health Organization that we have to take any measure, of course, that is going to be taken to protect our people of our country. But until now, there are no indications for panic in St. Martin.
The possibility of establishing a special fund to deal with the possibility of establishing a special fund, as is advocating by the Member of Parliament, De Weaver, in case of a pandemic, and of course your affiliation with CAFA.
At the moment there is a natural disaster, the budget of the country is being reconsidered for the people of a country to survive any natural disaster that are confronting them at that particular moment. So if money has to come free to save lives in our country, don't worry with that. We will handle it as we have handled all the disasters in the past. We're going to give priority again to our budget because that becomes main priority for the country in case we encounter a natural disaster in our country. So don't worry about that.
Your affiliation with PAFA?
Pardon?
Your affiliation
I do not know the last information because I'm not the Minister of ESA. I follow it, of course, first because of my background, and of course I'm the Prime Minister leading the government. But the last details of the PAVA I'm not aware of at this particular moment, so I cannot give you a direct answer on that one.
Time for a commercial break. When we come back, more late night. Stay with us. Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link.
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give please some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big buck.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
Because your mother with her mouth. My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch our Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
From the youngest prime minister in the Western Hemisphere to leaders transforming their nations amidst global attention, the Caribbean isn't just about sun, sea, and sand. It's also a hotbed for vibrant and youthful political change. Stay tuned as we uncover the dynamic young leaders who are redefining the future of this richly diverse region. Welcome to Caribbean Focus. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the political landscapes of the Caribbean, where a new generation of leaders is rising to challenge the status quo. It's a journey to explore the rise of the Caribbean's youngest leaders, where they came from, and their legacy and impact on their respective countries. From Jamaica to Guyana, these young visionaries are not only the face of change, but also the architects of their nation's futures. Join us as we explore the origins, policies, and impacts of the Caribbean's youngest leaders, how they came to power, the innovative changes they are bringing, and the profound influence they have on both their countries and the broader international stage. Whether you're passionate about politics, interested in global leadership, or simply curious about the Caribbean, this video is for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to join us on this insightful journey through one of the world's most dynamic regions. Let's dive in. In the mosaic of Caribbean politics, a young generation of leaders is rising, challenging conventional norms and redefining the contours of governance. With youthfulness as their defining characteristic, these emerging leaders bring a breath of fresh air to the region's political landscape, infusing it with energy, innovation, and a palpable sense of optimism. Through this exploration, we seek to understand not only the individual trajectories of these leaders, but also the broader future of their respective countries and the region as a whole. Let's start with someone who may seem young but has had a lot of experience in politics and governing, and that is none other than the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, who was born on July 22, 1972 in Spanish Town, Jamaica. Andrew Holness always showed promise as a leader. After completing his schooling in Jamaica, he pursued further studies at the University of the West Indies, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Management Studies and a Master of Science in Development Studies. His political career began to take shape in the late 1990s when he joined the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP. His intellect and leadership skills quickly propelled him through the party ranks, leading to his election as Member of Parliament of the West Central St. Andrew constituency in 1997 at the amazingly young age of just 25. Over the years, Holness held various ministerial positions until he made history in 2011 by becoming the youngest Prime Minister in Jamaica's history, assuming office at the age of 39. At the age of 43, he became the youngest to be re-elected as Prime Minister in the March 2016 general election. During his tenure as Prime Minister, Holness has focused on various issues, including economic growth, crime reduction, and social empowerment. He has been a stalwart of CARICOM and has played an integral part in foreign policy, primarily regional politics with the US. Holness's leadership style is characterized by a blend of pragmatism, empathy, and a commitment to inclusive governance. It is for this reason that he remains popular among voters, having been head of the country for almost 10 years in total. Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, is next on our list. From one of the smallest independent countries in the Caribbean, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit was born on June 8, 1972. Though young, Prime Minister Skerrit has been a long-standing figure in Caribbean leadership, first elected Dominica's leader in May 2005. In fact, upon taking office, Skerrit became the world's youngest head of government at just 33 years old. It was in December 2010 that Skerrit remained the youngest head of government in the Western Hemisphere and the third youngest in the world. In December 2019, Skerrit won his fourth consecutive general election, 18 seats to 3, becoming the first Dominican Prime Minister to do so and running the country consecutively for almost 2 decades. As Prime Minister, Skerrit's reception has varied with many positives and some controversies. Prime Minister Skerrit was accused of being bribed to acknowledge China's legitimacy. In 2019, an Al Jazeera investigation alleged that Skerrit had been receiving money in exchange for diplomatic passports and ambassadorships. Conversely, Skerrit has implemented a range of policies aimed at promoting economic growth, social welfare, and environmental sustainability with investments in infrastructure, renewable energy, and disaster resilience. Finding this video valuable and interesting? Then please support us by dropping a like and subscribing to our channel. Thank you. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, is number 3 on our list and comes the small island nation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Born on November 22, 1976, the young Prime Minister is 45 years old. Educationally, Dr. Drew pursued a path in medicine, earning his Doctor of Medicine degree in Cuba from the Universidad de Ciencias Médicas de Villa Clara in Santa Clara. Drew then returned to St. Kitts to work as a general practitioner, studied internal medicine in Texas, and graduated from Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center in 2013. He continued to work in medicine for many years before his foray into politics in 2020. Dr. Drew joined the then opposition and was soon elected as the leader of the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party in November 2021. His party won the election a year later, and Prime Minister Drew was sworn in on August 15, 2022. As Prime Minister, Drew has championed policies to foster economic growth, promote social cohesion, and enhance the quality of life for all residents of St. Kitts and Nevis. The young Prime Minister has also taken on large cultural challenges, such as consultations following King Charles III's coronation that would consider the country becoming a republic. Prime Minister of Grenada, Mr. Dickon Mitchell, who is next on our list, was born on October 8, 1978, making him 45 years old. Born in Petit Esperance, St. David, Grenada, and as a student, he pursued a Bachelor of Law from the University of the West Indies at Cayville in Barbados. He went to Trinidad to complete his legal education certificate at Hugh Wooding Law School in 2002. Before politics, the young Mitchell worked as an associate attorney at law at the firm Grant, Joseph & Co. before founding his firm Mitchell & Co. in 2017. Mitchell rose through politics quickly when he became actively involved in grassroots initiatives aimed at empowering marginalized communities and advocating for social justice. Mitchell was quickly elected leader of the National Democratic Congress Party in October 2021, where he quickly garnered support. This ultimately led to the NDC's victory in June 2022 and the ascension of the now Prime Minister, Dickon Mitchell. Prime Minister Mitchell's leadership style is characterized by inclusivity, transparency, and a genuine commitment to serving the interests of all Grenadians. He remains steadfast in pursuing a brighter future for Grenada, guided by a vision of prosperity, unity, and resilience in facing challenges. Ultimately, his leadership has been solid and uneventful, with the country experiencing relatively stable times. President of Guyana, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, is the youngest Caribbean leader today, born on April 25, 1980, which means he is just 43 years old. He became the People's Progressive Party Civic (PPPC) presidential candidate in the March 2020 general election and began his presidential term on August 2, 2020. Born in the rural village of Leonora, west coast Demerara, Ali spent many of his formative years on the island of Leguan. He holds a master's in Human Resource Planning Development from the National Institute of Labor Economics and a doctorate in Urban and Regional Planning from the University of the West Indies. Before his political career, Ali was a project manager of the Caribbean Development Bank's Project Implementation Unit in the Ministry of Finance and a senior planner in the State Planning Secretariat. But that did not last long, and his political aspirations shone through. In 2006, Ali was elected to the National Assembly of Guyana, marking the beginning of his journey as a lawmaker and advocate for the people. He rose through the PPPC, holding several ministerial roles along the way, including Minister of Housing and Water and Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce. Over the years, he distinguished himself as a pragmatic and forward-thinking leader, championing initiatives aimed at fostering economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental sustainability. In August 2020, Irfan Ali secured a historic victory for the PPPC, emerging victorious in Guyana's presidential election. He wasted little time getting down to business, quickly developing Guyana's oil and gas industry and turning it into the second fastest growing economy in the world. This discovery of the country's massive oil and gas reserves has thrust the rising leader into the international arena. The country's estimated total oil reserves are 11 billion barrels and 600,000 barrels of oil are produced daily. Guyana has taken this newfound wealth to embark on a staggering development campaign, ranging from upgrading its bridges to modernizing its electrical and transportation infrastructure. Check out this video on most influential and impactful leaders of the year. How important are these young leaders? As you can see, the prominence and influence of young leaders are strong throughout the Caribbean. From the youngest leader, Prime Minister Ali, who is charting the expansive growth his country will see in the next decade, to longtime stalwarts in Caribbean politics, Prime Minister Skerrit, who has been in politics for decades and has developed seasoned knowledge of political leadership. The emergence and presence of young leaders offer hope for a more inclusive and participatory form of governance, where the voices of the youth are embraced. With the median age in the Caribbean at 31, having younger leaders makes them more aware of the issues most of their population face. As we look ahead, these young Caribbean leaders will have the most time to shape the region's future, steering it toward greater prosperity and resilience. Before you go, we have a couple of pressing questions we'd love to hear your thoughts on. How do you think the unique perspectives of these young Caribbean leaders are shaping their nation's policies? And what impact could their innovative approaches have on the global stage? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. We value your opinions and are eager to see the conversation grow. Your input helps us understand what topics you're interested in and how we can better serve our community. So don't hesitate, join the discussion now. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative and engaging, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest insights. Your support helps us keep this conversation going. Once again, thank you so much for sticking around and supporting us. This is Caribbean Focus. See you in the next one.
And I'll fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait a bit. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me all that I should know. And I'll fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me how to wait to be. To evoke some empathy. And I'll fall on my knees. Tell me how to wait to go. Tell me how to wait to see. Show me all that I could be.
Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15 and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the Late Night Show with Andrew Dick from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the Late Night Show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV 15.
Thank you, TV 15. Make sure to tune in
Make sure to tune in to the Late Night.
and Sit, Sip, and Chat.
Late Night.
For over 50 years, we've understood the power of connection. Back when connecting St. Martin to the world seemed impossible, we made it possible. From pioneering international calling to introducing digital mobile services and laying the foundations for fiber optic technology, we've kept you connected wherever life or business takes you. And through it all, we've proudly supported the vibrant culture, traditions, and people that make St. Martin unique. But that's not where our journey ends. It's where it starts again. With a brand new commitment to connecting you, we've been working tirelessly behind the scenes to improve our services and bring you a better, more reliable network. We've restored the SMPR1 fiber cable that connects St. Martin to the world, ensuring faster speeds and greater stability. Our mobile platforms are being upgraded, and we've expanded our mobile coverage so you can stay connected wherever you go. Our new customer service system is easier to use and more efficient than ever. Plus, we're continuing to expand our fiber network, bringing you the most advanced internet available. But beyond pioneering technology, we're committed to uplifting our community, because this is our home too. That's why we provide free connectivity to many schools across St. Martin, equipping the next generation with the tools to connect, learn, and grow. At Telem, proudly local, we're here for today, tomorrow, and every milestone ahead.
Time for your flashback. Let's take a look what took place recently, kind of recently, a couple of years ago.
Flashback.
Welcome to the late night show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I am your host, Shiny Dick. All right, kids. Excuse the appearance. Stop coughing, please. Stop coughing. Don't be coughing. You know, I didn't come yesterday to work because I was like, no, I am not ready. No, I'm not getting it. Even when I have to go to the shop, to the supermarket, and I walk into the Chinese shop, and he's like, hey, what's up, my friend? And I was going like, no, don't call me a friend. And I just walk in with a mask now. Like, I don't play this thing at all. This thing is serious. People are dying. Run. Okay. Let me stop being hysterical.
Oh, God! No, God, please!
Where do we begin? Coronavirus. Let me be the first one to let you know that you need to stop being a jackass and think that it comes from the bear corona. Like, stop it. Like, I know it sounds fun and you say corona and you're thinking right away, corona bear. No, it has nothing to do with the bear corona, people. But I have your 4111 or your 101 or your what you need to know about this virus. These are little quick educational videos. It's short to the point so you don't get it wrong when you get it or when you don't get it.
Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that can cause anything from a mild upper respiratory infection like the common cold all the way to severe lower respiratory infections like pneumonia. You may remember hearing about severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, and more recently, Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome, or MERS. The current outbreak of coronavirus in Wuhan, China, is of the same family as those other coronaviruses. While presently there is no vaccine or cure for the Wuhan coronavirus, treatment is supportive. What that means is that patients can be supported, for example, with intravenous fluids or put on a ventilator to support their breathing. A lot of people have been asking me if the Wuhan coronavirus can be spread from person to person. So far, based on what the CDC and the World Health Organization have told us, it does appear that there is transmission from person to person. A lot is still being determined about this virus, and new information is available every day. While at this time there is no vaccine for Wuhan coronavirus, there are some steps you can take to protect yourself. Be sure to wash your hands regularly and to cover your nose and mouth if you sneeze or cough. If you're sick, stay home from work and avoid going out into public places. If you've traveled to Wuhan, China in the last 2 weeks and think you might be infected with Wuhan coronavirus, please let your doctor's office know before coming in for an appointment.
So there, you heard it from the doctors, the international doctors. Of course, they're saying all these things for you not to panic. What is St. Martin doing? What is our great Minister of Health doing in St. Martin? So today at the press briefing, Jesus Christ! Listen, I could never be ready for that hairstyle, you know. That hairstyle is like, every time I see it, I just want to run. How she could just like get up? It's like she just wake up and go like, okay, I go and walk. Let me go walk. All right, let's go. Gotta deal with this corona people and this virus. Let's go. Like, jeez. Anyway, let me focus. So today in the press briefing, she gave a statement concerning the coronavirus as far as what St. Martin is doing. This is her statement.
Today, as Minister of VSR, I'm here to give the following updates when it comes to the health sector.
Why she coughing like she's sound like she got like a okay. No, not possible. She's the Minister of Health. She's the Minister of Health. No, never. It can't happen. It's mad. No. Anyway, let me just continue the clip.
The coronavirus is still not a threat in the Caribbean so far as we speak. We are in constant contact with the different organizations in regards to development and awareness campaign on the island. We have been in discussions with different organizations like PAHO, WHO, which is the World Health Organization, in order for them to provide us with up-to-date information regarding how to deal with the virus.
One guy, listen, thank God I didn't go press briefing today now. Thank God I didn't go press briefing today. You see, you had a clearing throat, miss. It's like, thank God she like, Anyway, let's continue the clip.
We are also in constant contact with SMMC, the director, which is in constant contact with us in updating us on the different procedures, training, and equipment that are being bought in order to be prepared. Might it reach that far that they have to take drastic measures? I want to ensure and assure basically the public of St. Martin so far that everybody have their hands on deck, and all the organizations and institutions that are involved in the coronavirus, we have constant contact with each other in order for us to stay prepared and be alert whenever a decision has to be taken. When it comes to preventative measures,
no, impossible. Impossible. Listen, I stopped listening to whatever she's saying and I just waiting for the and the What the hell is that? Minister of Health, you need some time off? Take some time off, please. Anyway, it's crazy. All right, so that was some information. It's not that serious yet. You know how we St. Martin people do it. We're only going to be alarmed if we have a first case. Duh. We're going to be alarmed when it ain't there. Preventative measures? What the hell is that? That's like us prepare for hurricane season. No, we don't. When it comes, it's like, damn, hurricanes coming. All right, let me go to the same Chinese supermarkets and get Coronas. To get us through the whole season. Anyway, secondly, I need people to stop being racist and basically accuse the Chinese that are here in St. Martin, like our local Chinese people, that they have the coronavirus or that they're responsible for it. Please, I just stop all your craziness. Because now You have St. Martin Chinese, meaning Chinese persons who were born in St. Martin, who never went China, being accused of having it. So, of course, you can imagine your local Chinese man going like, but what going on? We went to school together, no blood. What going on? Because, hey, listen, I love my local Chinese now because they're more local than local people. They just go like, so what going on? What a flex is then? This is me like, yeah, my Chinese from Dutch Quarter. All right. So don't blame them, especially if they never left. Like, you stop at your craziness. And this is like a only 2 weeks type of situation in China that's happening. If you haven't traveled for 2 weeks, and if your local Chinese person hasn't traveled for 2 weeks, most probably you won't have the coronavirus. So stop your craziness. All right? What else is happening? Avex. Because Franz Richardson take another L. Like, listen, jumping in the sea, coming back, and putting yourself in Florida water is not even enough to the bad luck that this man has been having for the past couple of months. Like, I can't even laugh about it no more, but because before, I was being petty Ann. So I was like, he make it to Parliament. Rolando left. He lost his party. I was being petty. But now he just like get convicted hard today. Anyway, for those who don't know, let me read it for you. Let me get my mouse ready to go. This is crazy. I can't believe this now. All right. The Court of First Instance found Member of Parliament Franz Richardson, former Chief Executive Officer, CEO of the St. Martin Port Authority, Mark Mingo, and businessman O'Neill Arinel guilty as charged in the so-called Emerald investigation into a large-scale fraud in the Port of St. Martin case. MP Richardson was sentenced to 36 months in prison for accepting $370,000 as a reward for a political support for a dredging project and for money laundering and tax fraud. In addition, he was relieved of his passive electoral rights for a period of 5 years. That means he can't vote for 5 years, people. Mingo was sentenced to a prison sentence of 46 months for forgery of documents and scamming the Port of St. Martin around $10 million. He was also forbidden to work as port director or any government-owned company for a period of 6 years. The court ruled on Wednesday afternoon. Mingo's co-preparator in the scam, businessman O'Neill Arinel, who was also found guilty of firearm possession, tax fraud, and bribing MP Richardson, was sentenced to 66 months in prison. The Court of First Instance considered it proven the fact that it's very harmful to the confidence that the people of St. Martin must be able to place in the people in important positions such as politics. Blah, blah, blah. That's boring. Hold on. So let me see if there's anything else. The judge turned down. Oh, this is good. So the prosecutor requested police to be present in the court case today, the sentencing, because they wanted to lock up Franz Richardson, O'Neill Arinel, and Mark Mingo right away. As soon as the judgment is read, if it's guilty, point blank. If it's not guilty, then it's, okay, I guess they came there for nothing. That's how bold the prosecutor was in the situation, which is kind of crazy because, they have things called appeals for a reason, like you messing up with people's right, or it's like almost as if you knew that the judge would say that you're guilty. Anyway, that's the prosecutor. That's a different show. Anyway, so the judge turned down the prosecutor's request to immediately incarcerate Richardson, Mingo, and Arinel because their pretrial detention had been suspended quite some time ago. They have 2 weeks to file an appeal. Of course, they filed an appeal right away. They was like, appeal! So, Franz Richardson has a conviction now. Even though he appealed, he was convicted today in the court of first instance. So what does it mean for France? Nothing. We're going back to court. So it's like almost like it didn't happen. In any case, he still has another case to come, which is a vote buying case. That's another case by itself. So this is the Emerald case, and the next one is, I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name of it. So two cases. So one down, look like it's like prosecutor office 1, France Richardson 0. So they go into the second round, which is a next court case, criminal case that should be coming soon, according to the prosecutor office. What the hell? That's a big loss. Anyway, and then, so it's he's still a member of parliament now until the new parliament is sworn in, and he appealed. What can I say? I can't say nothing about it. No, that's kind of like this one thing that I don't even joke with is conviction, because who can't fit, you know. Anyway, it was a mistake, damn it. Anyway, all right, let me continue. My favorite part of Wednesday is, of course, listen, give the man a Grammy, give him an Oscar, give him like the best title that we could give him is the Queen Orania of Nassau thing that she just gave. Orania of Nabova? I can't remember the name, but you know the highest award in the country during St. Martin's Day? Yeah, I think we need to give that to Mr. Brown, because today's question were epic. It's time for my favorite segment.
Good morning to the people of St. Martin and to the ministers that are present here today. Question to the Minister of Justice from the prosecutor office. 13-year-old was the youngest person that have committed crime. Recently, a local lawyer make an analysis, and his emphasis was most of the people inmate at the prison, a black male. Minister, how can you reduce? Do you have any plan to reduce the number? I was alarmed when the local lawyer mentioned. I challenged him on the basis, but I don't know. But that's according to what he said, because oftentimes he usually be at the court of first instance to defend these persons. So, do you have any plan to reduce that amount of our black youth in the prison? Question to Minister Gordon. The high point today, in St. Martin and the world is the canola virus. Canola.
What is a mass?
The canola virus.
Nobody going to tell him that he's wrong? Like nobody. We're just going to, okay.
Minister, it is of great concern to the people of St. Martin especially. Border control, we have border control. Where do they come in this matter? Of course, we have the airport, the harbor, the lagoon. Where do they come in this matter? Final question to the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance is not here today. And last week, the Prime Minister mentioned that St. Martin would not help in the crisis of the Euro Bank.
Central Bank. Not because you say it fast means that you say it correctly. central bank, Mr. Brown?
In Curacao. There was some conversation between the central bank and the Eurobank and St. Martin. Have anything changed so far? What was the, let me say, continuing discussion on that matter?
Just the best. Anyway, welcome to the late night show. Special thanks to St. Martin Cigars for his shirt. He's my best friend's cigars, and cigars. I know, I just killed myself. I saw it outside of the St. Martin Cigars gift shop, and I was like, because it's cigars, and cigars. Take a break. Welcome to the show. We have a good one for you.
Flashback. That is it for Late Night Show. Thank you so much for watching. Until tomorrow, do have a safe and pleasant one.